September 10th, 2022, Windsor Castle, 4:33 a.m. Sir Edward Young, Queen Elizabeth's most trusted private secretary, stood in her personal study holding a leather-bound diary that could destroy the monarchy. Hidden behind a false panel in Elizabeth's private safe, the diary contained 41 years of the late Queen's unfiltered thoughts about Camilla Parker Bowles, thoughts so venomous, so damning, so filled with royal rage that they made her public politeness seem like the performance it had always been. That woman has spent 4 decades destroying everything I've worked to build. Read one entry from 1981. She is a cancer on this family, and I will spend every remaining day of my life ensuring she never truly wins. What Sir Edward discovered in those pages wasn't just dislike or disapproval. It was pure, calculated hatred from a queen who had spent 70 years perfecting the art of public dignity while privately planning Camilla's ultimate downfall. But the most shocking entries weren't about what Elizabeth thought of Camilla. They were about what she had secretly done to destroy her. The Discovery Row. September 10th, 2022, 4 a.m. The secret behind the safe. Sir Edward Young had been given access to Queen Elizabeth's private safe to retrieve important state documents, but what he found went far beyond official papers. Behind a hidden compartment that required a separate key, a key Elizabeth had pressed into his hand during her final hours, lay a collection of personal diaries spanning from 1981 to 2022. The truth must be preserved, even if it's never published. The diaries were meticulously organized by year, each one bound in royal blue leather with Elizabeth's personal seal. But it was the content that made Sir Edward's hands tremble as he read, August 15, 1981. Charles has made his choice, and it is the wrong one. This Parker Bowles woman is married, manipulative, and completely unsuitable. She lacks the dignity, the breeding, and the moral character required for any association with the crown. I fear Charles's infatuation will destroy everything Philip and I have built. September 12, 1981. Diana is such a sweet, innocent child. She believes in fairy tales and happily ever after. If only she knew that Charles's heart belongs to that calculating adulteress. I should warn her, but the marriage must proceed. The monarchy needs an heir, and Diana will provide stability that Camilla never could. February 3rd, 1982. William has been born, and he is perfect. But I watch Charles with his son, and see a man going through the motions while his mind is elsewhere. That woman has poisoned my son's ability to love his own family. She is destroying my grandchildren's chance at a normal childhood before they've even begun to walk. Sir Edward realized he was reading the private thoughts of a queen who had never been able to speak her truth publicly. But the entries only grew more damning as the years progressed. Don't miss these explosive revelations. Elizabeth's true feelings about Diana's suffering. The Diana years, 1982-1996, A Grandmother's Rage. Elizabeth's diary entries during Diana's marriage revealed a woman torn between duty and maternal fury at watching her son destroy his wife under Camilla's influence. July 29, 1985. Diana came to me today, crying about Charles's coldness. She doesn't understand that she's competing with a ghost, the ghost of a romance that should have died decades ago. I wanted to tell her the truth, that Camilla never left, never stopped manipulating Charles, never accepted that she lost him to duty. But how can I tell my daughter-in-law that her marriage was doomed from the moment Charles said I do, while thinking of another woman? December 15, 1987. I found Diana weeping in the corridor after another of Charles's public humiliations. That boy introduces Camilla to everyone as his dear friend, while treating his wife like an inconvenient obligation. Diana is becoming increasingly fragile, and I blame that Parker Bowles woman entirely. She could step aside gracefully, allow Charles to focus on his family, but instead she clings to him like a parasite. June 20th, 1992. The separation is official, and I am both relieved and furious. Relieved that Diana will no longer suffer the daily torture of competing with Charles's mistress. Furious that Camilla has succeeded in destroying a marriage that could have been wonderful if she had simply disappeared when Charles married. August 28, 1996. The divorce is finalized, and Charles wastes no time in rehabilitating his mistress. He brings her to Balmoral, introduces her to the grandchildren, expects the family to welcome her with open arms. I will be civil because I am queen, but I will never forgive her for what she did to Diana. That woman destroyed my grandson's chance at a happy childhood. But Elizabeth's most venomous entries came after Diana's death. The aftermath of Diana's death. 1997, 2005. A Queen's Vengeance. Diana's death unleashed Elizabeth's full fury at Camilla, revealing depths of royal rage that had been hidden for decades. September 1st, 1997. Diana is dead, and that woman has blood on her hands. Not literally, perhaps, but morally. Diana died fleeing paparazzi who were documenting her search for love because Charles denied her a faithful husband. She died broken and alone because Camilla refused to let her have peace. I will never ever forgive this. April 15th, 1998. Charles wants to gradually reintroduce Camilla to public life. He seems to think Diana's death has cleared the path for his mistress to claim the throne. He is deluded. The people will never accept the woman who destroyed their beloved princess. I certainly won't. January 3rd, 2000. Camilla appeared at a family gathering today, playing the role of Charles's devoted companion. She had the audacity to ask about my health, to express concern for my well-being. I wanted to tell her that my health would improve dramatically if she disappeared forever, but I settled for the coldest politeness I could manage. February 10th, 2005. They are engaged. Charles announced it this morning as if it were joyful news rather than the final insult to Diana's memory. I have given my consent because I must, but I will ensure that Camilla understands exactly what kind of welcome she can expect from me. You won't believe what Elizabeth wrote about Camilla's wedding. The wedding from hell. April 9th, 2005. Elizabeth's brutal assessment. Elizabeth's diary entry about Charles and Camilla's wedding revealed her true feelings about the woman who would become Queen Consort. April 9th, 2005. They are married, and I have never felt more disgusted by a family celebration. Watching that woman walk down the aisle in a room where Diana should have renewed her vows made me physically ill. She looked triumphant, as if she had finally won some great victory. In her mind, perhaps she has. She has outlasted Diana, outlasted public disapproval, outlasted my resistance. But she has not won my respect, my acceptance, or my blessing. She is Charles's wife-in-law, but she will never be my daughter. She will receive the courtesy due her position, but not 1 ounce more. The most galling moment was when she curtsied to me after the ceremony. Such a performance of humility and respect, from a woman who spent 20 years showing utter disrespect for everything I represent. I acknowledged her curtsy with the barest nod possible, while imagining how Diana would have felt seeing her replacement claim the honor that should have been hers forever. William and Harry attended because they had no choice, but I could see the pain in their eyes. They are watching their father marry the woman who made their mother's life a misery. I pray they never forget what Camilla cost them. April 10th, 2005. The newspapers are calling it a fairy tale ending and a triumph of true love. They have no idea what they're celebrating. This isn't love triumphant, it's selfishness rewarded. Camilla didn't wait for Charles out of romantic devotion. She waited because she knew he was weak enough to eventually cave to her manipulation. Elizabeth's entries during Camilla's time as Duchess of Cornwall and later Queen Consort revealed that her hatred never diminished. It only became more sophisticated. July 12, 2007. Camilla is trying to insert herself into Diana's charitable legacy. She wants to become patron of several organizations Diana founded. I have quietly ensured these requests are denied. Diana's work will not be sullied by the association with the woman who destroyed her happiness. March 20th, 2012. The Diamond Jubilee Planning Committee suggested that Camilla should have a prominent role in the celebrations. I vetoed this immediately. This is a celebration of my 60 years of service, not an opportunity for Charles's wife to pretend she has been part of this family longer than she has. June 2nd, 2022, Platinum Jubilee, my final Jubilee, and Camilla is there on the balcony, waving to crowds that would prefer to see Diana. I have ensured she stands in the second row, behind the future of this monarchy. Let the photographs show where the real power lies. But Elizabeth's most devastating entries were about her plans for Camilla's future. The secret sabotage. 2020-2022, Elizabeth's final campaign. Elizabeth's final diary entries revealed that she had been actively sabotaging Camilla's position for years while maintaining public politeness. I have been working with constitutional lawyers to ensure that Camilla's role as Queen Consort will be as limited as possible. She will have the title but not the power. I am crafting changes to the royal protocols that will ensure Catherine, not Camilla, becomes the true First Lady of this monarchy. September 3rd, 2020. Camilla doesn't know it, but I have been redirecting charitable funding away from her patronages and toward Catherine's. Money talks louder than titles, and I am ensuring the future lies with those who deserve it, not those who schemed for it. March 8th, 2021. I have convinced Parliament to create new restrictions on the Queen Consort's role that will take effect after my death. Camilla will find herself with far less authority than she expects. These restrictions are designed to look like modernization when they are actually targeted neutralization. Camilla gave a toast at Christmas dinner about family unity and healing old wounds. I wanted to laugh at her audacity. This woman, who spent decades creating wounds, now wants credit for healing them. I raised my glass in the toast but didn't drink. I will not swallow anything that woman offers, even metaphorically. Don't miss Elizabeth's final, devastating entry about Camilla. The Final Judgment. September 7, 2022. Elizabeth's last words about Camilla. Elizabeth's final diary entry, written the day before her death, contained her ultimate assessment of Camilla. September 7, 2022. Tomorrow I may die, and this may be my final opportunity to record the truth about Charles's wife. History will be kinder to her than she deserves, because she will outlive her critics and rewrite her own narrative. But let this record show what she really is. Camilla Parker Bowles is not evil, but she is selfish beyond measure. She is not cruel, but she is callous to the pain she causes others. She is not stupid, but she is willfully blind to the damage she has done to this family. She destroyed Diana, not through malice, but through relentless self-interest. She corrupted Charles, not through seduction, but through enabling his worst impulses. She damaged William and Harry, not through hatred, but through indifference to their well-being. Most unforgivably, she has spent 41 years pretending to be the victim of circumstances, rather than the architect of them. She acts as though she suffered for her love of Charles, when the truth is that Diana suffered for it, the children suffered for it, and the monarchy suffered for it. She will be Queen Consort, but she will never be a queen. That requires a nobility of character she has never possessed, and never will. I go to my grave knowing that I have done everything in my power to limit her damage to this institution I have served for 70 years. Catherine will be the queen this family needs. Camilla is simply the queen this family is stuck with. May God forgive her, because I cannot. The aftermath. When Sir Edward finished reading Elizabeth's diaries, he understood why the queen had hidden them so carefully. These weren't just private thoughts, they were a comprehensive indictment of Camilla that would destroy any hope of public acceptance if released. But Elizabeth had also left instructions. The diaries were to be preserved in the royal archives, sealed for 50 years, then released to historians in 2072, long after everyone involved was dead. Let future generations understand what really happened, Elizabeth had written in her final instructions. Let them know the truth about the woman who became queen through persistence rather than worthiness. The truth revealed. Elizabeth's secret diaries revealed what everyone suspected but no one could prove, that behind her public politeness, the queen harbored a deep, abiding hatred for Camilla that never diminished over 4 decades. More importantly, the diaries showed that Elizabeth had spent years actively working to undermine Camilla's position while appearing to support her. Every protocol change, every charitable redirection, every subtle slight had been part of a long-term campaign to ensure that Camilla's reign would be ceremonial rather than substantial. Elizabeth's final victory was ensuring that even in death, she would continue to limit Camilla's power through the legal and constitutional changes she had engineered. Some queens rule through inspiration, others rule through fear. Elizabeth ruled through meticulous planning and patient revenge. Camilla may wear the crown, but Elizabeth made sure it would never fit properly. Because some hatreds are too royal to express publicly, but too powerful to die with their holders, Elizabeth took her true feelings about Camilla to the grave, but she made sure the truth would survive them both.